All right, so welcome to our P3 Maths class. All right, let's go on to our lesson first. So let's do a recap on addition and subtraction of fractions. So today we will end off. Today is the last topic on fractions. So let's take a look over here. Let's do a quick recap, okay? Now, when adding and subtracting fractions, we need to make sure that the denominators are the same, and then we only add that or subtract the numerator. So I think by now all of you should be very familiar. What you need to do is to always make the denominators to be the same, okay? Now, to add and subtract fractions with different denominators, make the denominators to be the same, find the equivalent fraction, and then proceed on with your addition or subtraction. So let's take a look at this one over here. Please help me, tell me, how do I do this? 1 over 3 plus 1 over 5. How do you do your addition? Times each other. Okay, Sarah say yes, you're going to times the denominator with each other. What does it mean? It means that 3 we are going to multiply by 5. If the denominator multiplies by 5, the numerator must multiply by 5 as well. Okay, and then for 1/5 we are going to multiply by 3. So 5 multiplied by 3, numerator multiply by 3 as well. And then you're going to find your equivalent fraction. So we have 5 over 15 plus 3 over 15. And what will you guys get? What's the final answer? 5 over 15 plus 3 over 15. You get 8 over 15. Is this the simplest form? Is this the simplest form? Yes, you have to change them to like fractions. Okay? Is it the simplest form? Yes, because 8 and 15 cannot be divided by any other number other than 1. So 8 over 15 is in the simplest form already. Excellent job. Now, let's do our subtraction. So we have 1 over 2 minus 1 over 4. So what do you need to do? Okay, do the same. So are we going to multiply? Are we going to multiply? Times 2. Okay, we just need to times 2 will do. Okay, so this one we just need to multiply by 2 and multiply by 2. So we will have 2 over 4 minus 1 over 4. And what will you guys get? 0 over 4. 1 over 4, only subtract the numerator, denominator remains the same. So is this in my simplest form? Is 1/4 my simplest form? Yes, right? Yes, okay. Usually when we have the numerator to be 1, it is already in its simplest form, okay? So it's not necessary for you to take this multiply by 4 and this multiply by 2. If you do that, that is also okay, but then you realize that you need to do one more step to find the simplest form. Okay, so both methods are acceptable. Just make sure that your final answer must always be in the simplest form. Okay, so for today, we are going to go on to our word problems involving addition and subtraction or fraction. Last week, we did on a part whole. So this week is something similar, but we are not going to draw models anymore, all right? We are just going to read the question and then identify whether we need to do addition or subtraction of the fraction itself. So it's a bit more straightforward, okay? It's a bit more straightforward, but then you need to remember how we're going to do our addition and our subtraction of the fraction itself. All right. What happens if you forget to make the denominators the same? Chances are you cannot do your addition, you cannot do your subtraction. If you manage to do your addition and subtraction with the denominators being different, I think your answer would be incorrect, okay? So let's take a look together. Always make the denominators to be the same, okay? So let's take a look at this one. I'm going to go through with you before I give you your whole question. Now, Mrs. Lee used 1/3 1 over 3 meters of ribbon to tie a small puzzle. She used another 3/5 meter of ribbon to tie a bigger puzzle. What is the total length of the ribbon she used altogether? So what do you need to do? What is the total length that she used altogether? Do you do addition? Do you do subtraction? What should it be? Keyword here. They want to know what is it all together, right? So we are going to add them together, all right? So we know she used 1/3 of it, 1/3 meter to tie a small puzzle. She used 3/5 of it to tie a bigger puzzle. So now we are going to add them together. So same thing when we do our addition, what do we need to do? We need to make the denominators to be the same. So yes, we need to multiply. All right, so let's take a look over here. We're going to multiply it with each other. So 3 is going to multiply by 5, numerator multiply by 5 as well. 5 is going to multiply by 3, numerator must multiply by 3 as well. Okay, don't just multiply the denominator, make sure you multiply the numerator as well. Okay, why is it in meter and not cm? It's just based on the question. Remember, 1 cm is so short, so 1/3 of a cm is even shorter. All right, so it doesn't make sense to use 1/3 of a ribbon to tie a puzzle. You can't really cut 1/3 of a ribbon to tie. Yeah, so read the question carefully and make sure your units is the same as well. Okay, so let's continue on to this one over here. We're going to find our equivalent fraction. Okay, so 1 times 5 is equals to 5. 3 times 5 is equals to 15, plus 3 times 3 is equals to 9, and 5 times 3 is equals to 15. So we're going to add them together, and what will you guys have? 15. Yes. Okay, so it should be 14 out of 15. And then in your final answer, remember to put in your units as well. Okay, if you want to put in your units in your working, you can do so. Okay, remember in your final answer, usually when they ask you to write your answer, if meter is not given to you, please make sure you put in the units yourself. Okay, any questions so far? Good, easy. Are you ready for your bubble question? Okay, so let's take a look at this one over here. David bought half kg of grapes on Monday. He bought 1/4 kg of grapes on Tuesday. How many kilograms of grapes did he buy all together? You have 1 minute. Are you guys ready? 1 minute to answer the question. Quick. Write all your working on your piece of paper and options launching in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Okay, so let's take a look over here. What do you need to do? We need to do our addition. So we're going to take half kg of grapes from Monday plus 1/4 on Tuesday. So we're going to add them together. Okay, so we're going to take half plus 1/4. This is very similar to what we did earlier on. Earlier on, we did subtraction. This is addition. So we're going to make the denominators to be the same by multiplying by 2 and multiplying by 2 over here. Okay, so you have 2/4 plus 1/4. Okay, and your final answer would be 3/4. Only add the numerators. Okay, you cannot add the denominators together. So the answer would be option number 4. A lot of you gave me option number 3. If you gave me option number 3, means you did not make the denominators to be the same. Okay, if you never make the denominators to be the same, means ta-da, you get the incorrect answer. Okay, any questions so far? No question. Let's move on to the next one over here. Okay, for those of you who got the previous question wrong, now it's the time to redeem yourself. Okay, so James used 1/6 meter of a piece of string to make a ribbon and 1/2 half a meter to tie a present. What is the total length of the string he used? Okay, so once you do your addition, what is the total length of string he used? Please make sure your answer is in its simplest form. You have 1 minute 30 seconds. Options launching in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Okay, so let's take a look over here. We are going to do our addition together. We want to find the total length of string that he used. So we're going to take 1/6 meter plus 1/2 meter. We're going to make the denominator the same. Do you multiply by each other, or what's the magic number that you multiply with? Multiply by 3, okay? You can multiply with each other, don't worry about that. Final answer, you still need to simplify, okay? So we just need to multiply this. Trenton, I hope you're listening. I hope you managed to follow. If you have any questions, you can stay back and I'll go through with you again, okay? All right, should also multiply with each other. It's also okay, so long as you get the final answer to be the same, all right? So in this case, because I can make 2 to become 6, I just need to multiply one of the fraction. Now, it's not necessary for me to multiply each other. Okay, so we have 1/6 plus 3/6 over here. And then we are only going to add the numerators together. So 1 plus 3 is equals to 4. Denominators remain the same. And then we need to simplify. we need to simplify. So we need to divide by 2. Yes. Divide by 2 and divide by 2. Okay. Alright. So in this case, we will have 2 over 3 meters. So your answer would be option number 2. If you multiply by each other, it's also okay. For those of you who multiply by each other, what happens is, I can write this at the side for you guys, okay? As a comparison, all right? So you have 1 over 6 plus 1 over 2. If you multiply by each other, this one times 2, times 2, times 6, you will get 2 over 12 plus 6 over 12. You will have 8 over 12. In this case, we need to divide by 4. Divide by 4, divide by 4, and you will still get the final answer of 2 over 3. Okay? So both methods are acceptable. Both methods are acceptable. Okay, so whichever one you're more comfortable with, if you think you want to always multiply with each other, go ahead. Just make sure that your final answer is always in the simplest form. Okay, why do we need to simplify? Because if not, we can have a lot of different types of answer. Okay, by simplifying, make sure that you have that one correct answer at the end. Yes, and then you are dealing it with a smaller number as well. Okay, if not, the answer can be 80 over 120, can be 800 over 1200. Yeah, all right. So we want to deal with smaller numbers as much as possible. So we always simplify. Okay, so let's take a look over here. Celine cut 2 over 9 meter of a piece of cloth. Nancy cut 1/3 meter from the same piece of cloth. The remaining cloth was 1 over 9 meters long. What was the original length of the cloth? Okay, are you ready? You have 2 minutes. 2 minutes to answer the question. Options launching in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Over here, a lot of you gave me option number 3. A lot of you gave me option number 3. Let's take a look. All right. We want to find the original length of the cloth. Means we need to add everything together. We need to add the length that Celine took from the cloth plus the length that Nancy took from the cloth plus what is left of the cloth. So we're going to add 3 fractions together, and then you realize that, hey, my biggest denominator is 9. So I can actually change this 3 to 9. I don't really need to multiply 9 by 3 and 3 by 9, right? I just need to multiply this one by 3. Okay, so multiply by 3, and let's see what our equivalent fraction would be. So 2 over 9 remains 2 over 9. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 3 is equals to 9 plus 1 over 9. So let's add them together. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. So it is 6 over 9. And then, of course, always give your answer in the simplest form. So if you want to give it in the simplest form, we can divide by 3. Divide by 3. Yeah, and then you will get 2 over 3 meters. So your answer would be option number 1. All right, you need to do it slowly. All right, so make sure you add all of them together. Make sure you make the denominators to be the same and only add the numerators together. Okay, then after that you simplify. Any questions so far? Everybody okay? Can follow? All right, so now let's go on to subtraction of fractions. Okay, subtraction of fractions. So this is how a question or what problem involving subtraction of fractions would look like. The mass of a basket of fruits is 3 over 5 kg. The mass of the empty basket is 1/3 kg. Find the mass of the fruit. Okay, all right, so the mass of basket and fruit is 3 over 5. Basket alone is 1/3. So to find the mass of the fruit, we need to do our subtraction. So we're going to take 3, I'm going to take 3/5 kg minus 1/3 kg. So same thing, we are going to make the denominators to be the same. Yes, it is a thing, right? Because it's nationality. So we are going to multiply it with each other. because 3 cannot multiply anything to give you 5. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply it with each other. This one multiply by 3, this one multiply by 3, this multiply by 5, and here multiply by 5. Okay, so let's take a look at the equivalent fraction. We have 9 over 15 minus 5 over 15. And what do you guys get? What should the final answer be? 9 over 15 minus 5 over 15. That will give you, yes, all of you give me the answer. You guys are correct. So 9 minus 5 is equals to 4. Denominator remains the same. So this will be 4 over 15 kg. Okay, 4 over 15 kg. Let's try the next question together. Bubble question. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. Nicholas bought 5 over 6 kg of strawberries. He ate 1 over 2 kg of them. All right, so how much strawberries did he have left? So we need to do our subtraction. So I think a lot of you got the answer already. I'm going to help you, okay? For those of you who are still not very sure with fraction, I'm going to help you with this question, and then the next one you're going to try by yourself, okay? You want to find how much or what's the mass of the strawberry he had left. At first, he had 5 over 6 kg. He's going to eat half of it. So we are going to minus half of it. Okay, so what we need to do is we are going to make the denominators the same. So Nicola, in this case, our biggest denominator is 6. We are going to change 2 to be equals to 6. So we're going to multiply by 3 and multiply by 3. Okay, so multiply by 3 and multiply by 3. Then can you find what is the equivalent fraction? Do your subtraction and then key in your answer. Options launching in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Again, always give your answer in the simplest form. I just launched the option. So I think a lot of you managed to see and input your answer. All right, so let's take a look over here. So we're going to take 5 over 6 minus half. We are going to find the equivalent fraction of half first. Okay, so 5 over 6 will remain as 5 over 6. Now we are going to minus half, which is the same as 3 over 6. Okay, minus 3 over 6. So you will get 5 minus 3 is equals to 2. Denominator remains to be the same. And then you realize that 2 and 6, they are both even numbers, means they both can be divided by the number 2. So we're going to divide by 2 and divide by 2. So Zane, after you do this, you should be able to get 1 over 3 kg. Ta-da! That's how you get 1/3 kg. Okay, are you ready for the next question? Ta-da! Let's take a look over here. Mr. Tan had 11 over 12 kg of coffee powder. He sold 3/4 of it to Mrs. Go. How much coffee powder did he have left? All right, did he have left? Are you ready? You have 1.5 minutes. Options launching in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Okay, he had 11 over 12 kg of coffee powder. He sold 3/4 of it to Mrs. Go. How much coffee powder did he have left? So we need to do our subtraction. So please write down and then make the denominators to be the same. Which one do you need? You need to make the denominators to be the same. So change 3 over 4 to be something over 12. Then you can do your subtraction. Okay? So we all know this one, we need to do our minus, right? Because he sold and then they're asking for how much he had left. So 11 over 12 kg minus 3 over 4 kg. Make the denominators to be the same. Okay, so this one you need to multiply by 3 and multiply by 3. All right, time's up already. So let's take a look over here. Let's do it together. I want to see, and I see majority of you got the correct answer. Good job, guys. Well done. Okay, so we are going to take 11 over 12 minus your equivalent fraction of 3 over 4 is the same as 9 over 12. Okay, so multiply by 3, multiply by 3. So then you have 11 minus 9. 11 minus 9 will give you 2. denominator remains the same, and we can simplify. All right, we can simplify over here. Means we need to divide by 2 and divide by 2. Okay, so we are going to have 1 over 6 kg left. So the answer would be option number 1. Okay, all right, so let's take a look at this question. This one has 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes to complete the question. Kimberly has 1 meter of ribbon. She used 1 over 6 meter of it to wrap a present. She then gave 7 over 12 meter of it to Susan. What was the length of the ribbon left? 1 meter is 1 whole. Okay, you can take it as 1 whole. So I want to find what was the length of the ribbon left. Okay, options launching in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Ta-da. Okay, for this one, at first you have 1 meter of ribbon. So you're going to start with 1 meter of ribbon. She's going to use 1/6 of it. So you're going to minus 1/6 meter. And then she's going to give away 7 over 12 of it. So you minus 7 over 12 of it. Okay, so this is how you're going to do your subtraction of your fraction. But then you're going to make all the denominators to be the same. So you're going to make this to be over 12, and then what should 1 whole be? Should it be 6 over 6? Or should it be 12 over 12? Should it be 10 over 10? Should it be 100 over 100? You think about it, okay? How are you going to do your subtraction? So Megan, a fraction has many equivalent fractions. That is correct, the one that you need to choose. Do you mean in terms of finding the same denominator or final answer? For final answer, you just use the simplest form. Always, 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 always give it in the simplest form. If you're talking about whether you want to take 6 times 2 or whether you want to take 6 times 12, it does not matter. Both of them are acceptable, whichever you're more comfortable with. But at the end, in your final answer, you have to give it in the simplest form. All right, so let's take a look over here. We are going to, the denominator is so big. This is not considered a big denominator. Denominator can go even bigger. All right, so let's take a look together, okay? We want to make all the denominators to be 12. So in this case, 6. We can change it to 12 by multiplying it by 2. Okay, so we're going to multiply it by 2, multiply it by 2. So let me do step by step. Okay, let's talk about, oopsie, hold on, give me a minute. Let's talk about our fractions first. Our fractions first. Okay, so let's keep 1 whole to be 1 whole. Now we're going to change this to 2 over 12 minus 7 over 12. Okay, then we always need to change this to be 12 over 12. 1 whole is the same as 12 over 12. Okay, so 12 over 12 minus 2 over 12 minus 7 over 12, and that will give you how much? So 12 minus 2 will give you 10. 10 minus 7 will give you 3. So you have 3 over 12. Okay, then you can simplify because both of them occurs in your 3 timetable. So 3 divided by 3 is equals to 1, and 12 divided by 3 is equals to 4, and that gives you your final answer of option number 4. Okay, everybody can follow? Now, let's take a look at the next type of question, okay? Let's take a look at the next type of question. Ta-da! Addition, subtraction, very easy. A lot of times you guys read the question, you see the word altogether, you do addition, you see the word total, you do addition, you see how much is left, you do subtraction. What about word problems involving indirect addition and subtraction? Meaning it involves more than, less than, but indirectly. That means more than does not necessarily mean you need to plus, and less than does not necessarily mean you need to minus. So we've come across this kind of word problems many times already. But now we're going to do it again, but instead of whole numbers, we are going to use fractions. Okay, so the length of a branch is 3 over 5 meters. Given that the branch is 3 over 10 meters longer than a wooden stick, what is the length of the wooden stick? What is the length of the wooden stick? Okay, so my question to you would be this. You are asking, right? The branch is 3/10 meters longer than the wooden stick. So which one is longer? Is it the branch or the wooden stick? Which one is longer? Branch or wooden stick? Branch, yes. So branch is longer. I'm going to write here longer. Means the wooden stick has to be shorter. Since the question is asking you to find the length of the wooden stick, which is shorter, do you need to do addition or subtraction? We want to find the length of the wooden stick. Yes, we need to do subtraction. Excellent job. Okay, because the wooden stick is shorter. All right. So to find the length of the wooden stick, we need to take the branch, minus away how much longer it is compared to the wooden stick. So from here, we need to make the denominators to be the same. 5 must multiply by 2, 3 must multiply by 2, and let's take a look at the equivalent fraction. We will have 6/10 minus 3/10, and what will you guys get? 3/10. Excellent job. Yes, 3/10. So it has to be in the simplest form. So can we simplify any further? 3/10, can we simplify any further? No. So this one is the final answer. Okay. So the wooden stick has a length of 3/10 meters. All right. So let's take a look at your bubble question over here. A piece of wire is 1/2 meters long. It is 1/6 meters longer than a ribbon. What is the length of the ribbon? So let me ask you, okay? It is longer. What does this it refer to? It is longer. Does it refer to the wire or does it refer to the ribbon? Wire. So the wire is longer. If the wire is longer, what about the ribbon? Is the ribbon longer or shorter? The ribbon would be shorter. Okay, with that in mind, we need to find the length of the ribbon. Over here, we need to find the length of the ribbon. So think about it. Do you need to do addition or subtraction? Okay, 1.5 minutes. Ready? Let's go. All right, time's up. Okay, so let's take a look over here. We want to find the length of the ribbon. It is shorter, so we need to do our subtraction. Okay, so we're going to take half meter minus away how much longer the wire is compared to the ribbon. So in this case, we are going to make the denominators to be the same. So 2 must multiply by 3, and numerator must multiply by 3 as well. So we get 3/6 minus 1/6. And what do you get? You have 2/6. Okay, you have 2/6, and that's not the final answer because we need to simplify. So what do you guys divide it by? So the numerator divide by 2, denominator also divide by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is equals to 1, and 6 divided by 2 is equals to 3. So your answer would be 1/3 meters. Okay, 1/3 meters. All right. Okay. Are you guys ready for the next question? Are you ready? Yes, so let's take a look over here, okay? Mia spent half an hour to complete her English homework. She took 1/5 hour more to complete her English homework than her mathematics homework. What is the total time she took to complete her English and mathematics homework? Okay, so read the question carefully. All right, read the question carefully. She spent a certain amount of time to complete her English homework. She spent a certain amount of time to complete her maths homework. So based on the second sentence alone, identify, did she take longer to finish her English homework or did she take longer to finish her mathematics homework? From there, find how long did she take to do her maths homework and then find the total time she took to complete both homeworks. Okay? So I already explained to you. You have 2.5 minutes. Can I launch the option now? Okay. All right, launch. 2.5 minutes. Okay. Options launching in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Okay, all right, there are two parts to this question. For those of you who need help, there are two parts to this question. First, you need to find how long did she take to complete her maths homework. Okay, from this sentence alone, she took 1/5 hour more to complete English than maths. So maths she take longer or shorter. If she took longer, do your addition. If she takes shorter, do your subtraction. And then they want the total time. Means you need to take English plus maths. Okay? All right. So the first thing we need to do is time taken. Let me write down, okay? To complete math homework. Okay, then after that, you need to find total time to complete both homework. Okay, so 2 steps. You have 1 more minute. Find the time taken she takes to complete the maths homework first. She took 1.5 hour more to finish English than maths. That means maths she actually took lesser time. If it's lesser time, you need to do addition or subtraction. Mathematics. Okay, lesser time. Less time. All right, and time's up. So let's take a look over here. Okay, so what's the first thing you need to do? We want to find the time taken to complete the maths homework. Do you do addition or subtraction? We know that she took more time to finish English, means she took less time to finish maths. Correct? If she takes less time to finish maths, what do? Do you do addition or subtraction? Yes, minus. Okay, so we are going to take half an hour minus 1/5 hour less. Okay, so we're going to make the denominators to be the same. So we will multiply with each other. Okay, then we will have 5/10 minus 2/10, and that will give us, so how long did she take to complete her maths homework? What is 5/10 minus 2/10? 3/10. Okay, she took 3/10 hours to complete her mathematics homework. So the question is asking for the total time that she took. I want the total time. So you're going to take English, which is half an hour, plus maths, which is 3/10 hour. Okay, so here we can make the denominators to be the same as well. So we just need to multiply by 5 and multiply by 5. Okay, all right, so you have 5/10 hours plus 3/10 hours, and that will give you 8/10 hours, and then we need to simplify. So let me write it at the side. To simplify, both of them are even numbers. You can divide by 2. Okay, and that will give you 4/5 hours. So the answer will be option number 2. Is this difficult? Is it difficult? Okay, so you need to read the question carefully and identify whether you need to do addition or subtraction. Okay, one last question before we end today's class. Read the question carefully, okay? Yes, okay, so let's take a look over here. The mass of a mango is 1/4 kg. It is 1/3 kg lighter than a bunch of bananas. What is the total mass of the fruit? What is the total mass of the fruit? So read the question carefully. You want to find the mass. You know the mass of the mango. You need to find the mass of the bunch of bananas. Is the bananas heavier or lighter? From there, do you need to do addition or subtraction? And then you need to find the total mass of the fruits. Okay, total mass of the fruits. Are you guys ready? Can I launch the options? Options launching in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. We need to find the mass of the bananas first. Okay. Now this question is as in this sentence is very important. It is 1/3 kg lighter than the bunch of bananas. So think about it. Is the banana actually heavier or lighter? And then from there, if it's lighter, do subtraction. If it's heavier, do your addition. Okay, then from there, find the total mass of the fruits. So these I already explained to you. So you know the mass of the mango is 1/4 kg. It is lighter than the banana. So you want to find the mass of the banana. So think about it. Okay, is the banana heavier or lighter? Then from there, do your addition or your subtraction. You don't understand whether heavier or lighter is plus or minus. If it is lighter, you need to minus. Lighter means smaller mass. Heavier means you need to do addition. Okay, with me? Heavier means bigger mass. So we need to do addition. All right, so time is up already. So shall we take a look together? I see majority of you got the correct answer. So well done. A lot of you gave me option number 1 and option number 3 as well. Ta-da! So let's take a look, okay? So help me. All right, it says it is 1/3 kg lighter than a bunch of banana. It refers to the mango. Mango is lighter. Means my banana is heavier or lighter, guys? Banana is heavier or lighter? Banana is lighter. Heavier. Okay, the banana is heavier. If the banana is heavier, means we need to plus to find the mass of the banana. Okay, so we want to find the mass of bananas. Oh, yo. Mass of banana over here. It is heavier, so we need to do our addition. So we're going to take the mass of the mangoes plus the mass, how much heavier it is. All right. Okay. So from here, we need to make the denominators to be the same. So we multiply it with each other. All right. We multiply it with each other. So multiply by 3, multiply by 3, multiply by 4, multiply by 4. Okay, so we have 3/12 plus 4/12. And what do you guys get? What is the mass of the bananas? What do you guys get? 7/12 kg. Okay, then a lot of you give me option number 1 is the answer already. The question is asking for the total mass of the fruits. Total mass of the fruit. So we need to take the mango plus the banana. Okay, mango plus the banana. So we want to find total mass of mango and banana. Okay, so take the mango, which is 1/4 kg, plus the banana will be 7/12 kg. And what do you guys get? So what do you need to do your multiplication? What is the special number you're going to multiply? Are you going to multiply it with each other? Are you going to take 4 multiplied by 12 and 12 multiplied by 4? We multiply them by 3. Okay, so we can make this to be 12 by multiplying by 3 so that we don't need to do any multiplication for 7/12. Okay, so in this case, we will have 3/12 plus 7/12, and that will give you 10/12. You will have 10/12 kg, right? But that's not the final answer because we always need to give it in the simplest form. Simplest form. So we need to divide by 2. Divide by 2 and divide by 2, and that will give you, final answer would be 5/6. Excellent job. Maybe 5/6 kg. Okay, so the answer would be option number 4. Okay, so this will be your final answer. Any questions so far? Everybody can follow? Everybody can follow? Yes, okay, so that's all. Today we end a little bit early. All of you managed to follow through very well, okay? So before you go, let's do a quick summary, all right, on what we have learned today. So today on word problems involving addition and subtraction. To solve word problems involving addition or subtraction of fraction, the first thing you need to do is to always make the denominators to be the same. Find the equivalent fraction before performing any operation in the sense of addition or subtraction. And then finally, what do you need to do? Always give your answer in the what? I'm waiting for your answers, guys. Always give your answer in the simplest form. Always give your answer in the simplest form. Okay? Simplest form means you need to divide the numbers, the numerator and the denominator, until you can no longer divide it anymore. Okay, guys? If you have any other questions, you can stay back and ask. If not, then that's all for today.